This is my O2 WRX. It's my buddy Tanner. He's gonna be helping me out today. This is the how-to on how to exchange the material on your door cards. Tools you'll need: your flathead, Phillips. You have scissors, a somewhat large drill bit. Doesn't really matter the size, and then a pretty small drill bit as well. Set a cordless drill, spray adhesive, and then some real small wood 1/2-inch screws and washers. And then obviously your material. Right, this is gonna be the back door card. The front door cards are the same. First steps, you can do the two little black clips in here and in here. You remove those. Underneath those are your Phillips head screwdrivers, or Phillips heads. Then you're gonna pop this off around the door handle, and then you're gonna pull the window switch up as well, and then disconnect. And again, sorry about the lighting, kind of just doing this pretty late at night, but I removed both Phillips heads or screws. Then I'm gonna remove this part around the door handle. Depending on how anal you are, probably do a cloth or something around your flathead screwdriver, but I don't really care that much. You can already see my doors are pretty destroyed. Just pull it up a little bit, grab a hold of it, and just go slow and just pull it off. If it doesn't want to pop, work in a different direction. This pops right off. So if we're removing the door switch or the window switch, again, cover it up if you want to. I don't care because my doors are destroyed. You're gonna pick it up. You're gonna feel some tension. That's fine. That's normal. It clips in. It's gonna pop. You think you broke it. You didn't. Pick it up and out. You got this little clip here that goes underneath the lip over here. That's why it was so hard. Then you just remove the switch. Sorry, a little bit of trouble with that. To remove it, you just gotta push down this little dimple and both sides. Remove. So the other side, remove this. Just kind of get under it as well. It just kind of sits in there. Comes right out. One thing on the back door cards I forgot to say, there's a little plastic screw over here on the side and the front. There's just those two, and then on the inside on your front door cards there's another gold screw. You'll see that perfectly easy, and remove that screw. That's your third screw. Easy. All doors have 3 screws. From here, find a good corner section. This is the part that's going to freak you out a little bit. Just kind of pull it out. Work it real simple. Use your hands and wait for a pop. Now it's going to be the little clips coming out of your door. Kind of scary, but that's all it is. And once you get them, you just lift the door right off. That's what the back side of your door looks like. All it is are these little clips. They just get pushed into the door. Okay. So here's your rear passenger side door card. You're gonna flip it over. I like to work on this back side. First thing you do is you're gonna remove these 3 Phillips head screws. So this is the next part where people always destroy their door cards. I've seen some forums where people say to take a small drill bit, drill down through the center of these plastic rivets, and then take a pocket knife and scrape off. Well, you end up always breaking all these. So the best way is you find that larger drill bit, something roughly around the same size, and you're going to drill down pretty close to the white part of the door card, and you're going to take off that entire top of the plastic rivet. I'm gonna stop kind of quick. That one's fine. You're gonna go around and you want to get it down low enough so it'll start to come up. You're gonna go through and do that to all the black and white plastic rivets all the way through. After you finish drilling out with a large drill bit all of the plastic rivets, this is where you need to be patient and go slow. Have a box cutter if you want to, be handy with. It's a good idea to have. Just go through and pull up on all the positions where the plastic rivets were. If you give a little bit of trouble, it's fine. Keep pulling. It should break in the weak spots. Now this, you can potentially have some broken sections, but you don't need to replace all the plastic rivets with your screws. Come through. Don't pull too hard if it's not going to give. Re-drill and be careful. After you get all the rivets drilled off and you pop them off separately, go through. You can grab your box cutter if you want to. You don't have to. It's not a need. And just shear off all this crap plastic that's on top. If you don't want to do that, I'm not going to do that because I don't care. You're going to move on to removing the material. This is very simple. All you're going to do is just grab in the corner and peel. Try not to rip it because you do want to use this for your stencil for your new material. But you're just going to pull it right off. Alright, for this next part, first thing you need to do is ignore Taylor Swift. Now, you're going to start with tracing the outline of your pattern that you took off your door card. The only part on this that really needs to be precise is this top line here. That you need to actually have really straight and nice and neat. Everything else around the edges on your south and your east and your west sides can be overlapped and disgusting and ugly. So you can see here from my door card material before, I was a little bit more precise on the top line, and then the sides, I don't care. From there, set that to the side, and you go ahead and start cutting out your pattern. Material is cut out. Obviously I did it on the back side. On this next portion, before you start laying down your material, you want to grab masking tape and just cover up the corner of your leather. You're just going to tuck this material down in here. So you just want to drop the masking tape down in this groove and just cover up all the leather. It's pretty simple, just tape it off like anything else. So this next part, once you have it taped off, make sure it's tucked in there nice and neat and it's not in your way of your material. You're going to take your spray adhesive, spray this part heavy because you want it to be nice and wet so you can adjust your material. So when you spray it, get it in there like normal spray paint would, then actually go back and go pretty heavy with it. That way you can still adjust your material. Then when you lay it down pretty close to right where it needs to be, a little bit higher than that crack, and that's where you're going to start pressing down with a debit card, credit card, Costco card if you would. And you're going to press it in there, try to get a hold of the material to actually get it nice and deep and down into the crack. You don't have too much time to mess around with this, it's going to stick. You could always peel it off. Like that will happen, that's completely fine. I got this weird material that actually like comes apart, so I have to work kind of quick. Once you get that top layer stuck down and pushed in around the corner, you can go ahead and flip your material up. You need to spray about the same amount all over this. You're going to come through, make sure you get a nice good coat over everything, and then actually start to go in heavy with it. That way it'll actually stick, but it'll actually take a little bit so you can still move the material around if need be. You just scrape it down kind of like you would if you've done vinyl work before, just trying to make it nice and smooth. Go over here on the side. This part you can want to do with your fingers. Pull the material and shape it to the size of the door card. Once you get the top sprayed and laid down, go ahead and flip it over, and just along all the edges right here, you can go ahead and spray that again. You don't need to go as heavy on this one. This is just going to leave your material to stick to the back side so it won't peel up on you. Failed to mention that last little section was after you stick it around, you can cut it and make it easier. You want to cut out just little squares all around all the square rivet holes like I've done here. Then go ahead and set this aside, and you're going to grab the bottom half of your door card. From right here, you're going to go around to all these plastic rivets that you bored out before, and you're going to take your drill with your real small drill bit, and you go ahead and drill little pilot holes for your 1/2-inch little wood screws. From here, and you want to go very, very lightly. Some of them already have holes pre-drilled in them, that's fine, but you just want to go ever so lightly, just enough for the screw to be able to grab onto. And again, with these, I want to reiterate, you do not want to go all the way through. If you go all the way through, you'll punch through the back side of your door card and you'll be screwed. You just want to go down just enough to where a little screw will be able to grab a hold, and that is all. Once you have all of your pilot holes drilled, you're going to go ahead and realign up the top half of your door card. You're going to go ahead and put those 3 screws back in place, the first 3 that you removed before. Once you get these 3 original screws back in, you're going to take your small little 1/2-inch wood screw with a little washer and go ahead and pick whichever plastic rivet you want. I like to go over here by the door handle because if you end up going too far through, it's fine, it doesn't show. So you're just going to go ahead and you're going to press it down into the little pilot hole that you had. You can go just start pressing down and screw it in. These ones you can be a little bit hasty with and get them nice and deep in there, nice and tight, because if they pop through the other side, it doesn't matter. 2 white rivets, or if you have any other white rivets on your doors, those are really important to keeping the gap closed on the back side, so make sure you get those ones nice and tight. You don't want to over tighten them and strip the hole through, because then you're going to have a permanent gap and it's just going to look like crap. You'll notice I did not put screws in these 2 end pieces. I've done them before and they're just so shallow that when you go to put the screw in, you'll bolt right through the back side. You don't need them. I just went through most of these and redid them. I didn't do on this one because there's no reason to, and I don't want to risk puncturing through. So when you flip your door card over, There's your new interior. And you can go back, double check, make sure it's in there nice and neat. So in the back windows, they don't go down all the way. Makes it a little bit more difficult to get the door in. You gotta get over these pink clips. In the front, windows go down all the way. It's super easy. So right here, you wanna get the top over it first. Just kind of lean it over, press against the window, and it'll slide down. Make sure it kind of goes back into place right there. Then just the same way it came off, you're just gonna go ahead and start lightly pressing. You're gonna try to feel for those holes. You're just gonna press along the entire door, and they're all gonna clip back into place. Then from here, go ahead and put your plastic screw in, your door or your window clip. Handle, door latch clip, same way as it came off, just press it back in. Now I'm going to put on my screws and reattach everything else.